Today we're going to be multiplying matrices together. This is section 4.3 in the Algebra 2 book. When you're multiplying matrices, the second dimension of the first matrix and the first dimension of the second matrix have to be the same in order to multiply your matrices together. Look at the three examples on the bottom of the slide. We have a 4 by 2 multiplying with a 2 by 3. Since the 2's match, it is possible to multiply these matrices together. Look at the next example. The inside numbers are a 1 and a 3. They don't match. Therefore, it is not possible to multiply these matrices together. Try the last one. The inside numbers are both 2's. They match. Therefore, it is possible, yes, to multiply these matrices together. Okay, when you actually multiply the matrices, the dimensions of the matrix product will be the first dimension of the first matrix and the second dimension of the second matrix. That's what kind of matrix you'll end up with for a product. Look at the three examples. These are the same examples we looked at on the first slide. And we know the first one is possible because the 2's match. We would end up with a 4 by 3 matrix, the first number and the last number. Number 2 is not possible to multiply, so there's no product. And number 3, we know we can multiply because the 2's match. We would end up with the 5 by 1 matrix. 5 is the first number, 1 is the last number. So 5 by 1 is the kind of matrix we would get for a product. Okay, now we're going to actually do some multiplying. Now, you can do multiplying matrices in your calculator. I'm going to take a few minutes to show you how to do it by hand. But just remember, you can type in your first matrix as matrix A, you can type in your second matrix as matrix B, and then do A times B to get the product. Sometimes that works better. This is how you do it by hand. We do row by column. The first row multiplied by the first column would go in the first spot of our answer matrix. -1 times 0 is 0. 2 times -2 is -4. And when I add 0 and -4, I get -4. So that's going to go in the first spot of my answer matrix. Now, I do the first row by the next column. -1 times 4 is -4. 2 times 8 is 16, and when I add -4 and 16, I get 12. 12 goes in the second spot of my answer matrix. Move on to the second row, multiply it by the first column. 4 times 0 is 0, -5 times -2 is 10, 0 and 10 added together is 10. That goes in the second row, first column of our answer matrix. Keep with that row. We're going to go on to the next column. 4 times 4 is 16. -5 times 8 is -40. Add up 16 and -40 to get -24. That goes in the second row, second column of our answer matrix. Now move on to the third row. Third row by first column. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 times -2 is 0. Add up 0 and 0 and get 0 for an answer. Stick with that third row, and we're going to multiply by the second column. 3 times 4 is 12. 0 times 8 is 0. When we add up 12 and 0, we get 12 for an answer, and that goes in the third row, second column of our answer matrix. Again, sometimes it's faster and easier to just do it in your calculator, and that's fine. This is how you do it by hand. Multiply these two matrices together and see what you get for a product. Pause the video until you're ready to go through them. 3 times 2 is 6. 0 times -1 is 0. And when we add up 6 and 0, we get 6 for an answer. So that goes in the first row, first column of our answer. Move on to the second row. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times -1 is -2. Add up 2 and -2 and get 0. That goes in the second row, first column of our answer matrix. What row and column did we multiply to get the product of the value of 6? And that was the first row and first column. What row and column did we multiply to get the value of 0? That was the second row and first column. Okay, you go try these. Pause the video until you're ready to go through them. Number 1, the product of A and B means A times B. We're going to start with the first row and first column. 1 times -4 is -4. -3 times 1 is -3. Add up -4 and -3 to get -7. Now we move on to the next row. 2 times -4 is -8. 0 times 1 is 0. Add up negative 8 and 0 to get negative 8 for an answer. So negative 7, negative 8 is our matrix product. On number 2, we're trying to do b times c. That means negative 4, 1 is the first matrix, 0, 1, negative 1, 0 is the second matrix. You cannot multiply these together. You have a 2 by 1 multiplying with a 2 by 2. The inner numbers don't match, so it's not possible to multiply. If you tried to enter this in your calculator, you're going to get an error message. It's not possible to multiply those matrices together.